passive versus active investing. So there's like a million different ways to talk about this. I'm just going to do it for one single family house that's a rental. And I guess the definition for passive in this aspect, you would be the lender. So you would be the bank, right? You hold the mortgage on the property, right? You loan enough money to purchase the whole thing in cash, and you get a return on it without doing anything. You just give them the money, and whoever you're invested with, they get you the return, right? So that would be passive. Active is you buy it, you put the tenant in, you do everything that a landlord would have to do, right? No property manager, no nothing. Well, I guess you could have a property manager and still, I don't know if that counts as active or passive. Well, let's just say in this example, you're the property manager, you do everything. You fix the toilet at 3 p.m., even though no one fixes toilets at 3 p.m., because that never happens. So, number one, the first thing to keep in mind is, as a passive investor, you are taxed at a different rate than as an active investor. What that means is, as an active investor, you get taxed at whatever tax bracket you are in. As a passive investor, you're taxed at, I don't know the percentage, but it's a lot lower than whatever your tax bracket is. Maybe it's not, but I know for me it always was. So you always want to be a passive investor from a tax standpoint and everything else standpoint. But, well, no, I don't want to say that, right? I guess it depends on your situation, what your goals are, right? Like, let's just say that you want like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 rentals that, just make some extra money monthly, and you get depreciation throughout the years, and it gets paid down, and whatever your goals are, right? Everyone's got different goals. Maybe you want thousands and thousands of units, right? So you could do that both actively or passively. The biggest thing that I see people do is professionals, right? Whatever you are, a doctor, lawyer, whatever it is, your profession is, high paid professionals, they will buy a place and do a flip, or buy a place and make it a rental, and then sit there and paint, and then sit there and clean it, or do all these things that to me are silly, because, right? So if they're a professional and they make, I don't know, let's just call it like $100 an hour, right? But then they're sitting in this house doing like $15 to $20 an hour work. That's not very smart, right? Like, wouldn't you be better off staying in your high-paying career and pay someone to do those tasks? So that's just one thing that I think people don't take into account, is the time that they spend doing this stuff actively, compared to, instead of doing that, they could actually go to work, earn more money, and invest that money, right, with someone else, and not have to worry about anything, right? So I guess the next point is, if you're good at what you do and enjoy it, right, it kind of goes along with why I keep doing the $15 to $20 an hour work when you're earning like $100 an hour for this example, right? Why not just keep doing that and keep excelling and keep getting better and get $150 an hour, eventually, and make money passively, right? So actively, most people don't make very much, right? Maybe they're making like $100 to $200 a month, which is still a good cash flow, don't get me wrong, from a standpoint, as long as they correctly ran their numbers, right? And they have maintenance, and they have all the reserves, and they have all the other stuff. But when they do that $15 to $20 an hour of work, that $100 to $200 in active cash flow is actually much less, because they could have been earning that money just working a few extra hours at whatever they do at work, right? So it's really important to put your time into the equation, right? For example, like let's say someone brings you a passive deal to invest in, right? You can look it over and figure out if it's a good deal and if you want to invest in it in an hour. If you're active, you have to find the deal, okay? You have to go look at it. You have to get an inspection. You have to get a mortgage. You have to do all these extra steps that take all this extra time, right? So it depends what you have more of, right? Some people have more time, some people have more money. So make sure to leverage that correctly, because I used to do the same stuff, right? I always used to fix stuff at my rentals because, I'm saving $100 or $200 by not paying someone else. But I never took into account how valuable my time was, and my time was more valuable finding deals and paying someone to do that repair instead of me doing that repair. So I guess that's the point of this, is being passive or active. Obviously it depends on what lifestyle you want to have, right? If you want to deal with the things you deal with as an active investor, and kind of go from there, and also your goals. And I think no matter what your goals are, I think you can probably achieve them being passive or active, right? But just some food for thought, kind of some discussions we've had in the past few weeks that kind of stirred up this in my brain. So I hope it helped. And if you have any questions about passive or active investing, obviously the tax stuff, ask a CPA, because I didn't even know the percentages, but I just know it's better. Other than that, if you have any questions about how it works or anything, let me know. Be glad to answer any questions. And this video is way too long, so you have a great night.